Good morning from the mountains of Kamikatsu, Tokushima. We are at a very special place, but before I actually get here, we woke up at 7:30 this morning and we had breakfast. It was amazing. I was able to grab a ton of food. My muscles were all sore. So it was kind of cool to be able to go through and just kind of replenish everything, so to say, all my energy. We packed our bags, hopped in a car, drove an hour from Anan to Kamikatsu to now we are at the Zero Waste Center, and that's what I am currently standing at. The center is made up of multiple parts. There is the actual recycling center where they have a ton of different bins for all the different type of recycling you could do. Looks like they have some sort of class going on right now. There's a bunch of Japanese people here who are kind of all grouped, and they all have like plastic containers and they're all doing something with it. I think they're learning about something about arcology, and they're actually like digging in an area right now. There is the hotel, which is straight right behind me. That is for people who want to stay here and learn more about recology. And then this is the whole classroom center. The recycle area is actually right in front of me, and it's massive. This place has changed greatly since I saw it on YouTube many years ago. And it started off as like this dinky little place that still exists, actually, if I recall correctly. It's just you're not allowed to go there anymore. It's only for townsfolk to go separate the trash to this massive center now. And we're literally in the mountains of Tokushima. Like, we are so far out. It was about an hour's drive to get here on some of the craziest roads. Part of it was we were just driving next to the river, and it was intense. Like, just how narrow those roads were, and we're passing by these big trucks and trying to figure out everything. But was it worth it? Yeah, totally. This place is gorgeous. Like, they really put a lot into this center. Now the hotel we're not allowed to go into. It's for guests only, and that kind of makes sense. It's tiny. Like, it probably has 12 rooms or something like that. And people need their privacy as well. It's just a little, maybe I would say like 40-meter diameter building. So it's not actually all too large. Other than that, we just got here. Lynn was looking for a cache. It's funny because the geocache was set here in 2022 apparently, and Lynn's going to be the first one to find it. So that's pretty exciting. I also wonder if it was a Japanese person that set the cache or if it was a foreigner that set the cache, but this place is totally worth coming to. It's just hard to get to. Let's go explore a little, and then we'll check back in with some like other thoughts, because I haven't really been able to read anything. We just arrived here, and I just wanted to walk around a little. Figured I'd do a little filming. Yeah, back in a second. Welcome back. And so I have thoroughly walked through the entire place now. This place is amazing. It's just as fantastic as I saw it on YouTube many years ago. Apparently this started in 97 and has just been steadily building up since then. It wasn't until 2016 that groundbreaking on this type of area started, if I remember correctly. I do have photos of it. I will just throw them up so that I could correct myself if I'm wrong. But the idea was to start Kamikatsu to make it a zero waste area. And they took the knowledge of the fact that in Japan it's typically two types of trash: burnable and non-burnable, or as they put it here, combustible or non-combustible. And Kamikatsu didn't like that idea, so they wanted to change it and do it to recyclable, non-recyclable. And by doing so and taking that idea, they've been able to take up to 80% of what their trash is and recycle it. The bigger problem is that the remaining 20%, there's just nothing they could do with it except for burn it, as they put it. There's there's the plus or minus to that. It doesn't really matter because, like, in America, we either bury it, landfill, right, or we burn it, combust it, like New York, I think, does. And so either way, you are polluting. And so they're trying to do research here into how to make more reusable, recyclable, sustainable items. They actually are part of a college program or a university program here, as well as this. They treat part of it as a research factory. Oh, so the shape is a question mark, and the hotel is called Why. And the idea is to question why we aren't doing more for sustainability. And so it's very cute. The whole recycle area, it's really interesting, like how they have divided their trash up. Right after that is the reception for the hotel, as well as a thrift store is what they call it. It's kind of like a souvenir place. Quick note, there was this really funny thing that I saw in there because the it's beautifully made. Everything, non sequitur, I'm just jumping topics here. This whole place is made from recycled goods. All the wood is wood that was going to be burned or tossed out. All the windows and everything, which they have a really cool selection of windows that they go, are all from homes that were derelict or going to be destroyed. So everything here is unique in the sense that almost nothing matches, because it's just things from buildings that were gonna go to waste anyways. But to go back into the thrift shop, there's an area where they have VHS tapes, and I actually found Casablanca and 48 Hours. So the Henry Bogart, I believe it was, right, in Casablanca, and then Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte in 48 Hours on VHS. That's pretty amazing. But then right next to it, they have a lounge area where you kind of sit and learn more on your own pace. There is a laundromat, which is meant for the hotel after that. And then the very final part of the building, right there, that very corner, that is a classroom. And there's a class in session right now. I told you about the group of Japanese people that were here earlier. Lynn was kind of peeking in and overlooking, and what they were learning is how to compost. So it is a class on how to compost currently. They're probably doing other things at this current moment, but that's what Lynn saw that they were doing when she was here. Anyhow, that is pretty much this place. Anyhow, we are going to be headed off to the next spot now, which is at least an hour's drive away from here. So we will check back when we get to the next spot. Back in a moment. And we're back. So we are currently at the Omotsu Daigogan Shrine. We came here from the Hinano-sato Katsura Michi no Eki, which is kind of like a roadside station. But I wanted to get some A-roll, and right behind me there's construction going on. They just broke for lunch, and I was worried that I was actually going to go to another Michi no Eki before I could actually do some A-roll, because we totally forgot. We blew through there. We went in to go grab a chocolate orange, which we have in the car. Oh, I hope it's not melted. It is pretty warm today, so we should probably eat that pretty soon. And then we were able to also get a few other kind of cool little trinkets and snacks that we're going to bring home for the fam. The place is amazing. Like, it has a whole almost flea market or like farmer's market type feel to it. And then there's the restaurants and the souvenir shop where we bought everything. From there, this is about 20 minutes away via drive. We came here because I wanted to show Lynn a temple that's just full, or a shrine that's just full of cats, which this one has the lucky neko, and it's just all over the place. It's based off of the Omatsu legend, which is a tale of justice and I guess you could say revenge of a lady, Omatsu, whose husband was unjustly stolen from, I guess you could say. The tale is in the area they had a real bad rice harvest, so her husband went to go borrow money. There's tons of mosquitoes here. Went to go borrow money from the richest landowner in the area, and then in doing so they were able to survive. But when he went to go pay back the money that they borrowed, it was in passing in which the rich landowner asked for the money, and so he paid, but he never received any confirmation of payment. And so the story goes, once Sobe, Omatsu's husband, got home, he actually mysteriously got sick and died. And when Omatsu went to go ask for the receipt of payment to prove that they paid off their debts, the landowner, Sanzaimon, I believe his name was, he refused to accept that he received anything, forcing her into massive debt. And so he actually took over her lands and pretty much took away everything that she had to make a living with. And so she ends up going to the magistrate, who was corrupt by the richest landowner. Go fig, right? And she gets denied all her claims. In the end, she has to go to a passing royalty, someone who's really of high official ranking, and it was actually back in the day against the law to do that. She stopped his caravan and appealed to him directly, which she then, the same thing as committing seppuku, she was then beheaded because of that. All throughout this time, she complained and put all her confidence into her pet cat, and once she was beheaded, her pet cat came back as a monster to destroy that wealthy landowner and the magistrate, which is pretty much the story of that revenge and justice. It's funny, it's one of 3 famous stories. This is Omatsu, and then I think it was said there was Awa, and then Nabeshima are the other 2 famous ones. There's actually more than 3, but those are the 3 most famous revenge cat stories. It was really awesome. Lynn wrote an Emma or a placard. Lynn, did you take a photo of it? Okay. So I'll throw the photo that Lynn took up here because I actually didn't get a photo of it. I was walking around while she was doing that. There are so many little lucky cat statues all over the place. There's like caves with them. They're all along the mountainside. It's really neat, but I kind of wanted to get this A-roll done. I'm glad that the construction went to go take a break, because now we're off to go get lunch at another Michinoeki. So we'll check back in a moment. Alright, welcome back. We are at the Washinosato Eki no Michi. And Eki no Michi, I'm just going to be saying quite a bit. That's just roadside station. And these places are where you're supposed to go to take a break, get a little bit to eat, and kind of buy some souvenirs. Unfortunately, everything here is closed, and it's the stores are behind me, but it is quite sad, and the reasoning is, like, everyone said it was a holiday, and I'm like thinking it's Halloween. What's the holiday? And Lynn found a sign that said it's actually they're taking holidays because of a staffing shortage. And so because there's no one to staff the place, they're unable to open the shops. And this is kind of one of those things that I've been worried about and wanting to get back to Japan more and more and more, because the areas that I want to go to are far away from Tokyo or Osaka or Fukuoka, anywhere that has a lot of people. And for that fact, it's, this is to be expected. Like, I think there's 3 other people here with me right now, and I think all the cars in the lot are the staffers that are both here and at the other end of the ropeway, which is going to go in about 10 minutes here. So there was some sort of rice dish that we're supposed to try here, that you're supposed to stir, I believe is what it said, but because the restaurant's closed, we can't. It is what it is. We do have a cable car ride coming up though, so hopefully we can get to the top. And then we'll try to figure out lunch by hitting up like a 7-Eleven or something and just grabbing a bento or something easy. Or if there's like a fast food joint or like another cafe, we could definitely stop by. I will note most restaurants in this area, as I've been informed, close between 2 and 5 o'clock for their period break, I guess you could call it, their lunch break for the staff. And it is one of those things where if we come up against a restaurant, we're probably not going to see or have any service available. But that being said, we're going to go ahead and make our way to the ropeway now, and we'll check back in a moment. Welcome back. We are back at the base of Washino-sato, Michi no Eki, and the ropeway was amazing. The longest in Western Japan at 2,775 meters long. Takes about 10 minutes. I actually filmed the entire thing, so I'll throw some of that up here. Up at the top, you get to Tairyuji, which is the temple in that area, for this area, and one of the 88 main temples, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Now you can actually hike all the way up. This ropeway goes over 2 mountaintops. That's how long it is. But we just ran into an Australian who actually walked the entire way up, got lost, found the ropeway station, like lucky, right? And then took the car down with us, which is why I don't actually have any film of us coming down, which is pretty funny. But it's the temple up there is just so nice, like, and it's different. Like, it's probably the most unique temple that Lynn and I have seen in a very long time in Japan, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
A hot minute.
So it was worth every penny. Now I will warn that it is 2,600 yen for the round trip, 1,300 away. I think it was worth every penny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lynn agrees. One really cool thing is there is the 88 temple pilgrimage, which I've been mentioning on and off. And we have now started to run into the travelers, the journeyers. And we've been offering mikan, mandarin oranges, to them to make sure that they have something to go on the way. And it is just one of those things that we could do while we're traveling around. So we'll buy a little extra stuff at these Michi no Ekis when they have like shopping centers, and try to get food to these folks that are just walking their lives away. I want to say it's like 800 miles. There's a great video. I'll actually link it either as a card in the corner or in the description below. But there's a great video of a Australian that did it that I really enjoyed watching her journey through. That being said though, all the places, like I said earlier, are closed now for lunch. So we're gonna have to go find some sort of convenience store or something to grab some food. Anyhow, we'll check back in a moment. All right, welcome back. I am standing in front of the Daibosatsu Toge. This place is fantastic. It is an abandoned factory that has been refurbished and made into a cafe. Now, we weren't actually allowed to film inside the cafe aside from the drinks that we got, so let's go ahead and put that quick insert here where I could show that I got a cafe au lait, banana juice, and a melon yuzu soda, which the cafe au lait, standard cafe au lait, the banana juice was amazing. It reminded me of my dad's banana milkshake that I used to make when I was a child. And then the yuzu melon juice was very yuzu heavy, so it was very, very sour, but it was good. Highly recommend this place if you could get off the beaten path. Like, I am in the middle of nowhere. This girl that was in there with us, she took her little scooter here. Like, I wonder if she's a local or if she's from Annan City, which is where I'm currently at, if you're wondering. And it was just such a spectacle to walk around. They have all these older cars. The only ones that are in real good condition are the Austins, though, the Mini, and there was some sort of other Mini up there that I couldn't tell, but it was an Austin of a sort. And then beyond, there's like the forest that's reclaiming part of the building still. It's intense. Like, it is a real great experience to walk around. It's also very rare for brick buildings to exist in Japan, I feel. Maybe I'm just being, like, maybe that's that cultural shock part, but I just feel that it's unusual. And to see it is pretty amazing. To be able to drink it, like, we were upstairs over there, and that's where the actual cafe is. And it was just a ton of fun. We were debating whether we're going to go to the Cape, the farthest point east of Shikoku, and has decided against it because we want to go get dinner at our hotel, which is a good hour and a half away. And dinner's part of the hotel stay. We're staying at an onsen. There goes the little girl that was sitting next to us. But the onsen has a set meal that will be that's part of the room, so we need to make it there so that they could set up the meal for us. And then Lynn and I would both like to take a dip in the onsen if possible, so we'll see what happens. Rumor is it might be closed, so we'll see what happens. It would really be nice to relax the muscles, though. Other than that, I just wanted to do a quick thing about the Tairyuji temple that we were just at. I don't really think I went over it enough. Like, I really just blew through it. And when I say that it was a unique temple in the previous segment, it was unique in the fact that there were so many different buildings all together, and they were all made of this wood. It all looked traditional. They had crazy amounts of fire pails everywhere, so that, you know, because there's fire all over the place. So, like, we put up some incense. There's candles that you could do. You know, we just did the regular prayer, did an offering with the incense, and then went on our way. And as we were walking around, it just is so gorgeous. To imagine that people hike up there is just, it's crazy. And I just really wanted to make the effort to say that it was the raw wood look of it that really was, like, intriguing. Other than that, like, it's in a fantastic location, and it's like, you could walk to it or you could take a gondola to it. What's better, right? So anyhow, going too far into that, we are definitely going to get headed on out to the hotel now, and we'll probably do a check-in once we get there. So I will see you in a moment here. And we are in the hotel room, the onsen room. It's a fairly schwanky place. Lynn said it looked like a lodge. The drive here was intense. We are glad that we skipped the Cape, although that is something I'll have to come back one day and do. Go all the way to the farthest eastern point of Shikoku, where you're so close to Wakayama Honshu that you could almost see it. On a clear day, I think you can see it, but there is a typhoon coming in, so we are preparing for rain tomorrow. That kind of sucks and will definitely affect our plans for tomorrow. We might be seeing less than I actually wanted to, but it is what it is, and we will just continue on, soldier forward. The drive here, going back to that, was intense. It is definitely something. I tried to get some GoPro footage of it, but it just got dark so quickly, and then it was just a lot of those one road, which was 2 lanes, if you know what I mean. So it was like a single lane that they were like, yeah, that's 2 lanes. You can fit 2 cars in there, and it got pretty tight in a lot of spots. It was zigzaggy. I mean, we're up in the mountains, and it is what it is. Like Kamiyama, which is the God's Mountain, which we are on, is right next to Tsurugi, which I believe is where we are going tomorrow. So it's just easier to be here and get breakfast here. Was one of the things that I did make sure. I made the mistake. I thought we had dinner here, and that we had to be here before 7. But what it ended up was the restaurant closes at 7, so we had to be here before 7. So another good luck within, like, just randomness that we got, where we arrived at 6:30 and they're like, wait, you haven't eaten dinner yet? Go eat dinner right now. So before we even went up to the room, we went and ate dinner. Kind of even wondering if I got any footage of it. I hope I did, because it was delicious. I got a Kamiyama karage set, and Lynn got a tempura set because she wasn't all that hungry. We finished up with dinner. It was delicious. I mean, I think food in the mountains of Japan has always been good. Like, the ingredients always fresh. Like, we always debate whether it's like a crazy amount of shipping, or like, is it just fresh and like they're able to just get it at that sense. And kind of one of those things in Japan, and maybe I'm just being biased here, is that I do feel that everything comes in very fresh. So it was good. The sides were good. The chuan mushi, which is a dish that I am not fond of, admittedly. Lynn tried to eat some of that steamed egg, and it was too fishy for her, and I was able to down both of them, so I was hungry. And yeah, after that we came into the room. We are on the 2nd floor. It's actually like a lodge type situation, so it looks like a cabin that you'd go rent out in like Yosemite or something. But why don't we do a quick room tour right now, and then I'll finish off for the night. So this is the upstairs. There's only 2 floors on this, and we are in room 206. We go in. There is the little Genkan here. I think that's a towel dryer right there. Towel rack. We do have a little shoe bin for slippers. And then immediately to the right, as most Japanese places, we have our bathroom with the fancy toilet and a very Western style bathtub. This is the first time we've had a separate sink and bathtub set, so that's kind of cool. And then, as we go in here to the main room, there are no lights.
There are lights over here, but it's... Nope, that's not it. Nope, what the fuck?
Something opened and closed.
Well, it was the air conditioner.
Oh.
There are recessed lights that only...
There are recessed lights, so since we're on the 2nd floor and this is it, this is what the roof looks like. It actually slants. It's a vaulted ceiling. But we do have our 2 Western style beds, which is what I prefer. And then we have the blue tatami. This is very different. I'm not used to that.
Plastic tatami.
Yeah, it feels very plasticky is what I'm saying. But that is 100% okay. I wonder if...
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
There we go.
Hanger.
There we go. These are the lights right here. Controls.
Oh, jeez.
I'm actually used to that. Most of these Japanese hotels have something like that. But we have a safe with a key, our fridge. This is very lodge feeling. Huh, this doesn't open. We have our TV, a little closet. Oh, with all our onsen accoutrements. And then a place to hang clothes. And then, that's neat, we have a couch.
Very surprising.
With an area behind the couch.
Don't know.
And then,
Scaffolding.
oh, so yeah, I saw all the work that they were doing. So it's just scaffolding right outside of the actual hotel. Looks like they're doing some renovations. You can actually see, yeah, things need to be painted and stuff. I don't know if that's actually coming through on camera or not. But, I mean, the room's nice enough. And it includes breakfast. It is 16,200 yen for the room for one night with onsen privileges, a pass for the spa, as well as a breakfast. So, as we could see, it is 7 o'clock. We are here a little early, so we will get to go take a dip in the onsen. But let's go ahead and get this camera turned around. And yeah, we'll finish off the night. Alright, and so as you can see, the room, Western style, is definitely my preferred. It's just one of those things where I am done with sleeping on the floor, so I'm hoping the beds are soft. Like, the comforters look so nice. It's only like 9 o'clock, 9:30. So it's a bit early, but I think we're going to go ahead and turn in. I think we have another early day tomorrow, so we'll get up early, go grab breakfast, and then make our way out. Hopefully we could beat the rain. It says the weather report's kind of all over the place, but it looks like the heaviest of the rain is going to be at noon, which kind of sucks because I think we'll be in the Ia Valley, which that might be cool. Maybe there'll be a lot of water underneath that bridge, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, the area is nice. I guess I should be more concerned about the fact that I'll be driving in the mountains on a windy road that's super narrow in the rain. I mean, it is what it is. Everything we've seen so far has been spectacular. There's nothing that has fallen short of expectations. Things that are upsetting would probably be more along the lines of the things that were like closed because there's just no humans in the area to run them, and that kind of sucks that it's happened a couple of times. And I don't know if I've posted that, but it is, again, I was talking to Mom about one of the key reasons why I want to make a ton of trips to Japan in the next few years, because as the population decreases, services and just regular goods that hotels and places that are like serviceable, so restaurants rather, hotels maybe not so much, restaurants, dessert places, anything that's like a unique boutique, those are going to start to disappear. And so that is something that like I'm very fearful of. But I got off track. We came up to the room. As you saw, the room's very traditional. We swapped out to yukatas, which is kind of weird because I personally don't like wearing them. So I've already swapped back out to my t-shirt and shorts to get ready for bed here. But I wore the yukata with hapi, I believe is what they called, the jacket over it. Went down to the onsen, took a quick dip. It's funny because I showered in the room first, in here. Then I went down to the onsen, showered again, because you're supposed to before you get into the water. Took the dip, stayed in there. It was just me, so it was kind of one of those like tests where really you're just concentrating on how long you can stay in the hot water for, because there's nothing to disturb you or to break that concentration of you're sitting in like hot water. The water was not boiling. It was actually the perfect temperature, I feel. But after a while, I did start to sweat. So it was one of those things where you get out, you rinse off again, and then you hop back in, and then
your face gets shiny.
yeah, you get all shiny. And then I came back to the room where I waited for Lynn. I was hoping that she forgot to lock the door, which she did, so I was able to get back in. She went to go to the female section of the onsen, so she enjoyed herself over there. And I pretty much just set up this tripod and camera to get ready for bed, and that's where we're currently at. So we will see what happens tomorrow, and yeah, I guess good night, and we'll see you in the morning.